Okay, yeah, I thought you could shoot through it. Never mind.
What are you aiming at?
That is my bad.
What are you aiming at?
Yeah, my aim can be a bit shoddy sometimes. But yeah, I've never really adjusted to playing keyboard and mouse. I know, oh my god. Fuck off, how are you there? It would be nice if I had a team around me. We're putting up all the resistance of a fucking poppadom. Why is there a guy behind? Why is there a guy there? How has that been allowed to happen? Can we like stop it for a minute? There we go. That's a sniper, we're not getting in that battle. Got him. That submarine was finally found. I think it was this morning or last night. This deagle is unreal. Look at that. Let's not. Oh, I was definitely round the corner. Not the actual submarine. I think it was like the landing gear and something else. What was left of it, basically. Look. He steps out for a minute and gets beamed. The CEO hasn't covered himself in glory. There's actually a clip of him saying that he's gone against all conventions.
And, you know, I've broken some rules to make this. Carbon fiber and titanium. There's a rule you don't do that. Well, I did.
I don't know if he used an alloy or just a mixture of carbon fiber and titanium. There's probably a reason why there's a convention. You don't stray from the convention when you've got paying customers. I think it went down 8 times. So he had a 1 in 8 chance of failure. The whole thing was a shit show. The fact he was using a game controller.
Because today we have an exciting announcement that I am super pumped for, that I am able to share with you guys today, and I cannot wait, of the Ali A control freeze.
It costs like £30 on Amazon. How anyone got into that submarine and thought that was fine. Like if I get into a submarine, it looks like one of them fucking children's party buses. I'm getting out. But I think luckily they wouldn't have felt any of the impacts. I'm fucking retarded. It was way too quick. I saw some guy do the maths on it. I don't know if it's true. I'm taking his word for it. It looked smart. It looked like he knew what he was on about. Yeah, before their neurons would even been able to fire and register the pain, the thing would have imploded. I mean, they probably would have known it was failing. I can imagine that's pretty traumatic, but it's probably no more traumatic than them like suffocating slowly and being trapped in essentially a white van. How is he allowed behind us? What is going on? Like, they were going to be traumatized for life regardless of what happens. I mean, half of them are billionaires, so I don't really give a fuck about them. I feel bad for the kid. He was just a uni student. He went on Father's Day. His dad didn't pressure him.
Assemble.
But oh my god, what is going on there? Like, he wanted to please his dad, apparently. His auntie's come out and said, like, yeah, he was feeling nervous. There's always this hindsight analysis after. Like, you have James Cameron coming out now. I mean, he has been down to the Titanic a good few times, but now he's coming out saying, oh yeah, I knew it would have imploded about 4 days ago. I could have told you that. Well done. Like, what benefit is it to say, yeah, I could have told you that happened 4 days ago? I'm sure half the world could have told you that it imploded 4 days ago off just pure guesswork. Like, it wasn't exactly clairvoyant type skills. It was pretty 50-50. It was either they were dead already or they were under the sea. Apparently, he designed his own submarine and shit. Speaking of James Cameron, he was trying to compare it to the actual Titanic, which you can see, to be fair. The Titanic, everyone would say it was unsinkable. I don't think anyone was saying this was unsinkable. A submarine by nature is sinkable. The CEO is a massive cunt. He probably got what he deserved. Cutting corners, making money out of people. No doubt, his apparent innovations on that submarine, they weren't for innovation's sake. They were probably to cut costs. It was probably more expensive to fit the conventions. Like, it's very rare that people tend to innovate without there being a cost benefit. Yeah, it was probably far cheaper. I mean, spending 30 quid on literally the control system of the little van is a joke. Like, it might have done the job, yes, but at least change it. At least make it look proprietary. Like, put a little bit of Oceangate logo on it or something. And yeah, apparently they were bolted in as well. There wasn't a door or anything. Again, probably cutting costs, making like the locking mechanism, the seal and everything to withstand, what was it, like 300 atmospheres worth of pressure? It's probably very expensive to make a locking mechanism that can reopen from the inside. So you just bolted them in. You had to get someone to open it by basically dismantling it. Yeah, it was just cheaping out and everything. And if you're going to cheap out on something, you're not cheaping out on a fucking submarine. The 5 passengers, I think 4 of them were billionaires, weren't they?
You're off that now.
Anyone that uses a shotgun is a cunt. It's the richest man from Pakistan, billionaire and his son. Or it might not be a billionaire, just a rich man. I can't remember. Obviously, the CEO was rich and some other rich person. So they were all rich. And it's bad, but because they were rich, you kind of have a little bit less sympathy for them. Oh, for fuck's sake, get out of your shield, man. What? What? How was I not killing him then? It's bad, but you do feel a tiny bit less sympathy for them. So I mean, if you're a billionaire or the richest man in Pakistan, you fucked some people over in your time. Might not have been the worst person in the world, but it's just how it is. You mainly feel sympathy for the 19-year-olds. He had his whole life ahead of him. And I mean, the billionaires have probably enjoyed their life. No, there was a fucking triple kill there. Being a billionaire from the East, I feel like especially, where there's such a divide in poverty, even more so than anywhere else in the West. I think poverty in the West, like America, England, there is people who really struggle, but it's completely different in the East. So I should probably research it more before I talk about it. Anyway, my point being is that the economical disparity is far larger. So I feel like if you're a billionaire in a country like that, it makes it even worse, I feel like. I don't know if that's fair. All billionaires are just as bad as each other. The videos I'm seeing are extremely funny. To be fair, none... Oh my god, fuck off. How are you behind? I don't know if it's too soon. There is never too soon. It might be in bad taste, but it is what it is. I find it funny. It's not happening to me, so I don't mind. The CEO deserved it, putting that many people's lives at risk. They definitely got what was coming to him. If I did not kill that guy, I think I would have quit. It does make me wonder though, if there was an even more tragic disaster now, I don't know how the world would respond. Like, do people take it serious? If there was like a full-scale Holocaust happening, as known about as the German one, I really wonder how the world would respond. Like, would people be taking the piss? I'm sure they would be, in the same way they were about the war. Or even stuff like 9/11. 9/11 has got to be one of the most joked about things in history. When did that start? Like, did it start on 12/11? It's very, very tragic. But what can you do? Also, I don't really understand why you would want to go and see the Titanic. Just watch the film. The film probably gives you a far better representation. James Cameron apparently went down there 33 times. So you going down there once isn't going to give you a better representation than a film, multi-million-pound film, where the director has seen the Titanic with his own eyes. I don't really know what you're getting out of it. Yeah, it's a cool experience to go in a submarine, but just go in a submarine. Like, just step in one, go down a couple of meters, instead of going to virtually the seabed. And how much you've seen as well. I can't imagine you see much. It's probably extremely dark. And if the guy was cheaping out on a controller and the materials of the fucking submarine, I can't imagine he wasn't cheaping out on the light and the camera system. Like, was he... did he just put a Logitech webcam outside? I was like, yeah, this is our system. The TV doesn't look like a great quality picture. And the light as well. I saw the clip of him explaining the submarine. The light inside the submarine, he said he bought from a camping shop. How? How is that something you're willing to admit to? That is awful. They charged 250 grand, I think it was, and they were essentially refusing to let them refund it. Like, I think they paid in 2017. I might be getting mixed up. They tried to refund it many times because it got delayed by COVID. And he was like, no, it'll be going down soon, don't worry. Yeah, and he had the cheek to charge him so much money. Oh my god, I thought I had a different gun out. He had the cheek to charge him so much money for something that he clearly didn't spend a lot of money on. Can you imagine getting on a commercial airliner? They're running through all the safety systems, yeah? They tell you about your seatbelt and they're like, yeah, don't worry, this seatbelt broke, but we got a bit of shoelace. And he just takes his shoelaces off and wraps it around your stomach. Well, the jet blew up, but we just took it from like a Ford. Yeah, we ran out of fuel, so we stopped by Morrison's and just picked up a gallon of petrol. That should work. That should be fine. Don't worry about all the combustion and all that. We don't worry about all that. That's just convention. Look, convention is made to be broken. Why not? Let's just put water in there. What would that do? There must be a reason they don't put water in there. It's all conspiracy. They just don't want you to use water as fuel. I'm just breaking convention. Look, why can't we have a blind pilot? I think that's just discriminatory. Why is there no blind pilots? Let's break that convention. Let's let them all in. No, let's not even have a window in the pilot's cabin. Let's just have it bolted up so he can't see. You don't need to see. That's convention. The whole thing was a fucking mess. The coverage of it as well. The news literally had a countdown to the oxygen running out. Like, obviously it doesn't matter now because they weren't actually relying on the oxygen. But imagine they were, and they had a countdown. I saw YouTube streams counting down the minutes. And there's been like global coverage of this one incident. It's a sensational headline. Like you probably won't see a situation like that again, hopefully not. So you can understand why there's coverage. The extent of the coverage is all that's been on the news. Like, there's nothing else been happening in the world. And apparently there has been a lot happening in the world, and most of it's been covering stuff up. I've seen a lot of conspiracy TikToks talking about people like BlackRock.
Everyone's distracted. I was like, what has BlackRock and the other big banks been doing this entire week while no one's looking? BlackRock and JP Morgan helped set up Ukraine Reconstruction Bank. That's so kind of them. They also helped Ukraine restructure their debt. You know that phrase where, the bank actually owns your home, they own your ass. BlackRock did that for an entire country.
They've been making moves while this has all been happening. And it doesn't surprise me. It's a perfect cover to like make your dodgy financial dealings. Your aim is shit. I'm talking about it as well. It's like the only thing that's been in my head. I got stuck. Wow. I don't know how he's managed that one. Yeah, that's my rant over. It shows you how many people in their job are phoning it in. You don't really realise until you work in places. I imagine in every walk of life, in every career, there's people phoning it in. Like there must be doctors who turn up to work one day and they're hungover. They might be taking out a tumour and they're just like, you know what, fuck it. Like this bit of brain looks like I should go back there. Like there must be people phoning it in every walk of life. Or like a nurse giving an IV and they just can't find like the ibuprofen. So they just hook them up to morphine or something. Like, yeah, that'll do. Like you'd think in a profession like underwater exploration, especially such deep underwater exploration, the regulation would have been far tighter. And to be fair, all them people were willing to take on that risk. Like the videos were very public. I mean, they stepped in there and he probably gave them a tour and showed them the controller. Obviously you can't blame them for going in there. They're expecting to have a safe trip and they signed the waiver. That's another thing, they've signed the waiver, so they can't even get any financial like reimbursement. I don't know if reimbursement's the right word. Financial relief, I guess. That just waivers their ability to sue them if anything goes wrong. I guess they might have a claim suggesting that it was done in bad faith because the CEO knew that he was cheaping out on materials, and in which case they probably do have a case. But I'm not a lawyer, so that's above my pay grade. How is he behind? How is he behind me? I hope they get some put. You know what? I don't. I hope they get no payout because they're all fucking minted. They can sue. They probably could take them to the ends of the earth. In that case, I hope they get the company shut down. But financially, they don't need any payout. I imagine they all want to shut down the company, which is fair. Yeah, it's just whether they actually have the standing. Because yeah, apparently the waiver talks about death 8 times in the first page, which isn't that strange. Most waivers for something like that would talk about death a lot. Even in surgeries you sign waivers saying like, if I die from this procedure, I won't get annoyed. I don't know if that's verbatim. That's definitely not verbatim. You just waive your right to take legal action against the doctor. The doctor's got your best interest at heart, but the CEO obviously didn't. I'm not going to bring up the metaphors again. Imagine you go into brain surgery and obviously they keep you awake, don't they? Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Yeah, they keep you awake to make sure it's still functioning. And the tools they have are just from Halfords. All against convention. You don't see any other brain surgeon doing that. Who cares about convention? Yeah, it's a fucked situation. I've talked about it for far too long. Anyway, I'm getting better at this game slowly. My first game was awful. It must come out later this year if they've got the open beta out already. But it's a lot of fun. The map designs are actually really nice as well. I haven't tried the snipers really. That'll be the make or break for me. I'm not used to using the minimap at all. Because COD have literally eliminated using the minimap. It's just out of my muscle memory now. Like to look at the minimap to find where the red dots are. Your aim is shit. Your aim is shit. I'm gonna flank.
Revenge kill. A professional.
I'm so good. I am so good. I'm getting better with keyboard and mouse as well, which is always fun. I don't really play games with aiming. I mean, Football Manager doesn't need aiming. Aiming at the continue button is about as much as I do. What? I thought it was a one-shot kill. Last time I used it, it was a one-shot kill. Maybe the guy was low. It's gonna be free release, isn't it? All they need is a zombies mode now. I don't think you can get any better than Origins. The setting, obviously being World War I, like the robots, and it's not that far-fetched, to be fair. Like, they were developing some pretty mad technology at that point. More so World War II. They were ahead on space exploration and everything. Is it Operation Paperclip? The US took a lot of the Nazi officials. They put them in NASA. Like, one of the people used to this is crazy. I don't know why I'm laughing, it's not funny. Shit, his name escapes me. He used to hang the slowest workers in his factory.
Werner von Braun. They had Werner von Braun run NASA. He was a Nazi, like 100% Nazi. He ran a Berlin rocket factory where they hung the 5 slowest Jews front, so everybody would know, like, this is what happens when you work slow.
I mean, it's heck of a motivation, to be fair, if they're literally hanging your mates. A horrible man. That is crazy that the US took these people on.
The Simon Wiesenthal Center said that if Wernher von Braun was alive today, they would prosecute him for crimes against humanity.
What's his name? It escapes me. And speaking of escaping, they literally all escaped to South America. There's literally a colony in South America. They speak exclusively German. They have all the war medals of their ancestors and they parade them. To this day, they're still there and they're just kicking about Argentina. I remember when Argentina were doing well in the World Cup, all that shit came out about how Argentina's not a nice country, as if that's somehow to do with the players. Like, people were using it as like they were using it like a this you. I think of all the South American teams, yeah, there's a lot of darker skinned players. Think of Brazil, probably the easiest one to name. Argentina, not a single one. There's more Scottish Argentina players than there is dark tones. It's because they wouldn't directly execute them. They'd send all the black people into the war effort, so they'd send them at a disproportionate rate, and obviously that's plummeted the population, and there should be quite a big contingent of people of darker tone. I don't think light skin is native to South America, or Argentina at least. I don't know if that's because colonization and all that shit. I don't know, I'm not a historian. It's like Australia almost seems like an extension. Their people are very similar, like there's no distinct language compared to England apart from the natives. They're by far a minority in Australia now. It's because Australia is essentially all our prisoners. They don't get much history on this channel. Switzerland don't get enough flack. They're very neutral. There's that common saying in it, inaction is an action in itself. They were happy to take all the Jewish gold and jewellery, and they were happy to take the Nazis' money. There's that Ricky Gervais bit in it. Switzerland was just a carpet for the rest of Europe. They just took our coats as we were fighting. They're shit at football as well. They beat France, to be fair. But who doesn't beat France? England don't beat France. Why is my team never good at escorting it? We just get battered every time we play this mode.
2, 1, 0.
How is that? You can't shoot it through his legs.